With less than 3 months before we end this great and beautiful year, it is the right time to start looking for upcoming movies in 2021. Welcome back to FilmShack. Today, we prepared for you the best upcoming superhero movies coming out in 2021. Number 10. Eternals. Eternals is based on a comic series created by Jack Kirby and revolves around a group of superpowered and nearly immortal beings. Marvel enlisted acclaimed the writer-director Chloe Zhao to take the helm, and subsequently assembled a tremendous A-list ensemble. Not only is the movie expected to feature an openly gay superhero character, but Lauren Ridloff is playing the first deaf superhero in the MCU. Filming began in the fall of 2019 and wrapped in January 2020. The film was originally scheduled to be released on November 6, 2020, but was pushed due to the COVID-19 shutdown. Number 9. Black Widow.
I made my choice. I'm done running.
A standalone Black Widow movie has long been requested by fans, and Marvel Studios finally pulled the trigger, locking in this past-set standalone movie as the first film in the MCU's Phase 4. Scarlett Johansson handpicked indie filmmaker Kate Shortland to direct after an exhaustive search. Florence Pugh plays Yelena, who comic fans know as a character who eventually takes on the mantle of Black Widow, while David Harbour plays Red Guardian, the USSR equivalent of Captain America. The film was originally scheduled to be released on May 1, 2020, but was pushed due to the COVID-19 shutdown. Number 8. Chang Chi and the Legend of the Ten Rings. With Chang Chi, Marvel is looking to produce a first superhero movie with an Asian lead. The film is based on a comic character created in the early 1970s by writer Steve Englehart and artist Jim Starlin, and was born out of Marvel Comics' desire to acquire the rights to a TV series, Kung Fu, which they were denied. Instead, they acquired the rights to villain Fu Manchu and created Shang-Chi as the son of Fu Manchu. In the comics, Shang-Chi was raised and trained by his father in martial arts, but when he learned his father was actually evil, he turned against him. Marvel intends to fill out the ensemble with a mostly Asian cast, looking towards Black Panther as a template for how this kind of movie should be put together. Short-term 12 director Destin Daniel Cretton won the directing gig, over other candidates that included Alan Yang, Master of None, and Deborah Chow, the Mandarin. The film will introduce the MCU's real Mandarin, to be played by Tony Leung, following the fake-out of the character in Iron Man 3. The film was originally scheduled to be released in February 2021, but was pushed due to the COVID-19 shutdown. Number 7. Wonder Woman 1984.
Nothing good is born from lies. And greatness is not what you think.
What we know so far? Very little. But Wonder Woman marked a major turning point for the DCEU, with wildly positive reviews and a massive box office. So anticipation is high. Patty Jenkins returns to direct a story that takes place in the year 1984, against the backdrop of the Cold War. Timely, with Kristen Wiig playing the villain Cheetah, and Chris Pine somehow reprising his role as Steve Trevor. The film was originally scheduled for release in November 2019, but Warner Bros. Opted to push it into the summer corridor of 2020, which is the release date the filmmakers wanted all along. The film was originally scheduled to be released on June 5, 2020, but was pushed due to the COVID-19 shutdown. Number 6. Morbius.
This would be a cure.
Another one of Spider-Man's enemies is making the leap into live action. The Marvel vampire Morbius, the living vampire, is getting his own movie, in Morbius, starring Jared Leto. The next movie from the Marvel-Sony partnership that also spawned Venom and Spider-Man Into the Spider-Verse. Morbius is the next dive into the Spider-Man archives in search of a new character with enough juice to lead a franchise. Morbius the Living Vampire is a supernatural, horror anti-hero in the Marvel Universe, created by Roy Thomas and Gil Kane. Morbius was introduced as a villain of Spider-Man in The Amazing Spider-Man number 101 in 1971. The character's cult popularity allowed him to star in his own series of Marvel comic books and appears as a recurring character throughout the various Marvel stories. A brilliant biochemist named Michael Morbius, Morbius became a vampire when he tried a risky experiment to cure his rare blood disorder. Instead of healing himself, Morbius became afflicted with pseudo-vampirism, mimicking the creatures of vampire legend. Morbius was originally scheduled to be released on July 31, 2020. However, the movie is currently delayed to March 17, 2021, due to the ongoing novel coronavirus pandemic. Number 5. Black Adam.
Now, 5,000 years later, I'm free.
This project first surfaced years ago, when Warner Bros. Secured Dwayne Johnson to play Shazam villain Black Adam. The idea was for Johnson to star in the Shazam movie, but in the spring of 2017, Johnson revealed that they had decided to make 2 separate movies, one for Shazam and one for his antagonist/anti-hero Black Adam. Johnson will lead the latter, while Shazam moved forward separately and became a success. This one's been in development for a long time, but movement is starting to occur as Warner Bros. Set due date writer Adam Stitzikiel to pen the screenplay. Most recently, the film found a director in Joam Collet Sierra, with whom Johnson just worked on Disney's upcoming Jingle Cruise movie. Filming was finally scheduled to begin in July 2020, but is likely delayed due to the COVID-19 shutdown. Number 4. Untitled Spider-Man sequel. Just as Spider-Man Far From Home was hitting theaters worldwide, Marvel Studios and Sony Pictures were locked in contentious negotiations regarding the extension of their partnership on the future Spider-Man films. Briefly, Sony still holds the license to Spider-Man, but starting with Spider-Man Homecoming, brought Marvel Studios and its president Kevin Feige on board to serve as the lead creative producer to help steer the direction of that film, a reboot, and subsequently its sequel, given how well Homecoming performed. In summer 2019, talks between both sides broke down over how to proceed. Disney wanted a bigger cut from the box office in exchange for paying for some of the production, while Sony wanted to keep the status quo. But in September, the two sides came to an agreement on at least one more Spider-Man movie starring Holland, who will also appear in one more unnamed MCU film. Far From Home writers Chris McKenna and Eric Sommers are reportedly returning to pen the screenplay, and Homecoming and Far From Home director John Watts is back in the director's chair. The film was originally scheduled to be released in July 2021, but was pushed due to the COVID-19 shutdown. Number 3. Doctor Strange in the Multiverse of Madness. While 2016's Doctor Strange was no doubt intended to start a new franchise, the follow-up was put on the back burner so Benedict Cumberbatch's character could take a key role in Avengers: Infinity War and Endgame. In December 2018, it was revealed that Derrickson had quietly closed a deal to return and direct the Doctor Strange sequel, and at San Diego Comic-Con 2019, Marvel confirmed that Derrickson and Cumberbatch are returning for Doctor Strange in the Multiverse of Madness. Derrickson described the sequel as the first scary MCU film and will co-star Elizabeth Olsen as Scarlet Witch, with events that tie directly into Disney Plus's series WandaVision. But in January 2020, Derrickson left the director's chair over creative differences. He retains an executive producer credit, but Marvel subsequently entered negotiations with legendary filmmaker Sam Raimi to take on directing duties. The film was originally scheduled to be released on May 7, 2021, but is pushed due to the COVID-19 shutdown. Number 2. The Suicide Squad.
You know the deal. Successfully complete the mission, you get 10 years off your sentence.
David Ayer definitely isn't coming back to direct this sequel, and Warner Bros. Looked at some intriguing names for his replacement. Mel Gibson was approached toward the end of 2016, but Warner Bros. Eventually moved on and offered the movie to Joam Collet Sierra of The Shallows and Non-Stop fame to take the helm, only to see him pass. Gavin O'Connor, the accountant, was subsequently set to direct, but when his take came out similar to the plot of the Birds of Prey movie, which is going into production first, he became furious and moved on. Subsequently, Warner Bros. Tapped former Guardians of the Galaxy 3 filmmaker James Gunn to write a script from scratch and potentially direct. Indeed, 3 months later, it was announced that Gunn will very much be directing this film, which is entitled The Suicide Squad, and is rumored to be more of a reboot than a sequel. It's unclear exactly how many of the original cast members from the first film will return. Will Smith has already confirmed he's out, but Margot Robbie, Jai Courtney, Viola Davis, and Joel Kinnaman are expected to return, and Idris Elba is signed on to play a new character. Additionally, David Dastmalchian is Polka Dot Man, Daniela Melchior is Ratcatcher, John Cena is Peacemaker, Steve Agee is voicing King Shark, and Nathan Fillion and Taika Waititi are playing undisclosed roles. Filming began in September 2019 and wrapped in February 2020. Gunn has said that despite the COVID-19 shutdown, the film's release date is on track. Number 1. The Batman.
If you are justice, please do not lie.
This one has been a long time coming. Warner Bros. Finally got Ben Affleck to agree to direct and star in a standalone Batman called The Batman in 2015, with Affleck having penned the script with Jeff Johns. However, Affleck subsequently stepped down from the director's chair, opting instead to star in this standalone, while Warner Bros. Set Dawn of the Planet of the Apes filmmaker Matt Reeves to take the helm instead. After over 2 years of rumors as to whether Affleck would or would not star, Warner Bros. Has finally confirmed that he'll be moving aside and making way for a new Caped Crusader. Reeves' take is described as noir-tinged and will star Robert Pattinson as a younger Batman/Bruce Wayne than Affleck's iteration. Pattinson beat out Nicholas Hoult for the role, with Zoe Kravitz subsequently cast as Catwoman and Jeffrey Wright cast as Commissioner Gordon. Jonah Hill was in talks to play the Riddler, but when those talks broke down, Paul Dano was cast as the iconic villain instead. Colin Farrell subsequently signed on to play the Penguin. The film will also be honing in on the detective aspect of the Batman comics that hasn't fully been explored in the films, and began filming in early 2020 in London. Greg Fraser, Rogue One, will be the cinematographer, and Michael Giacchino, War for the Planet of the Apes, will compose the score. The film was originally scheduled to be released on June 25, 2021, but was pushed due to the COVID-19 shutdown. We would like to invite you to share your opinion with us. Do you agree with our list? Don't forget to subscribe to our channel and turn on the notifications bell. Thank you for watching, and we will see you in the next video. Bye!